Yes guys and girls, how's it going? So I've just done school run and the temperature's dropped massively. Mia didn't take a coat, bless her. I'm gonna go and get her coat and then whiz it back. I've got physio in a bit. Bit of a rush, but again, you can't account for these sort of things, especially as a parent. Like, you know, it is what it is. I thrive off this sort of stuff, all about adapting in the moment, all about just, you know, your plans can be changed. It's how it goes. You can plan your day, but then something can happen. And you just got to adapt with it. It's what it's about at the end of the day. And I think it helps you in so many other areas of life. And it's why I always say, you know, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Coffee secured. These takeaway cups coming in clutch. Coat secured. See in a little bit, okay? Coat delivered. We're 20 minutes early for physio, which is a little bit keen, but I don't do late, and I would much rather have made sure I had time to spare than to have been late. You know that free time I had spare? Well, my car needs to do an update. And we're done. Good boy. This is meant to be for your birthday, which is next week, but I'm gonna let you have it, all right? Good boy. No. You know, like some dogs, yeah, or pets or whatever, have like their favourite toy. Bruno, nah. Literally, he's got nothing left. I've spent hundreds of pounds on toys, and he kills them. So I have to always try and find like these indestructible ones. I guarantee you that bone, it won't last. It'll be snapped in half in a few weeks. Getting in our steps, and we're back home. 5 egg omelette, 3 yolks, 2 egg whites, chicken, bit of cheese. I have this, my new chair has arrived, however I can't build it until little Mia's back from school because she's asked to build it with me. Probably gonna eat this, check the charts. I might play a little bit of Call of Duty just before the beta ends, we'll see. And we're done. Just gotta wash up.
No.
Because that is the rule, whoever cooks, the other person washes up.
No.
Does anyone else run with that rule in their house?
No.
I remember when I was a kid, I had 2 options.
I'm still waiting for my dishwasher.
Yeah. I could have cooked and got out of washing up, or I had to be the designated washer-upper. Was anyone else designated washer-upper? You might have had siblings, I didn't have siblings.
They've probably got dishwashers.
What about when I was little?
Oh.
I mean, dishwashers were around there, I'm acting like I'm 400. But we do need a dishwasher. We don't really have the space, so we'll wait until we move. But
You got a laundry press, didn't you?
huh?
Did you have to do your own laundry, like pressing it through the
Mate, I didn't live in the medieval times. Who does washing up in your house, or do you all have dishwashers? You may remember a couple of vlogs ago I mentioned looking for a new chair. Appreciate all of your feedback. Flexispot actually reached out to me and offered to send me their BS12 Pro ergonomic chair. So we're gonna get this bad boy built, see what it's saying. I want to say a massive shout out to Flexispot for sponsoring this video. If you want to grab yourself a Flexispot chair or desk, there's a link in the description. They have a sale on. I believe you only probably have around a week left to grab this chair, the desk that I have, or any other chair or desk that you like. Make sure you check them out. You know how important posture and things are. It's something I'm massive on, and I'll keep you updated on what I think of the chair in the up and coming vlogs. So absolutely nothing happening on the chart, so I figured a cheeky game of COD before the beta ends. So obviously this geezer here gets absolutely sent. Really tempted to start streaming. I'm not sure how or best way. I play on PlayStation 5. But if anyone knows or anyone would be interested in watching that, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll use my second channel for streaming. I don't know. Yes, people. Darwin X's annual subscriptions have just gone live. I know plenty of you have been asking me about annual plans. Well, now they've listened and you can sign up to Darwin X annually, so you haven't got to worry about any more monthly subscriptions, and you can save yourself a decent bit of dough. And yes, if you already have an active monthly subscription and you'd like to change to annual, you can do so by logging into your dashboard and changing the subscription settings. If you're not yet on Darwin X and you just want to get started, you can of course sign up for 1 month, check it out. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. If you're tired of gimmicks, restarting accounts, resetting of accounts, whatever it might be, you want to look at the long term and you're in this for the long term, then I highly recommend Darwin X. That record's worth its weight in gold, but it is going to take you time. It isn't going to happen overnight. You're not going to make loads of money to begin with, but as we know by now, that is trading in general. So if you've been putting off getting started, now's the time to start. I used to have these, if you remember. I've had them for a couple of years, but I stopped having them because remember when I had the gut problems, I was trying to eliminate like what it could be, etc, etc, and it very likely wasn't them. But turmeric shots very helpful with like inflammation. There's loads of benefits on turmeric, loads of studies. So I've started taking them again, purely for my knee to see if it helps. And we've just got back from having our haircut. Feels so much better. You can't beat a trim. I'm telling you, as a dude, it's probably one of the best things. The girls get as excited with haircuts. But yeah, that's done. Oh, yesterday was a sick day. Great start to the week, to be honest. Like, a lot of the stuff that happened yesterday was not planned, not prepared for. And that's how days go, right? Sometimes you can't plan or prepare for everything that's going to happen, especially with responsibilities and, you know, everyone has different lifestyles and stuff. So, you know, it's just really important to highlight, like, there's always two sides and there's always a positive and a negative to everything. And often as humans, we always focus on the negative. But if you could start to look at the positive and what's the good in the situation, like I said, I get to go back to the little one school and take her coat, or I get to go to this job in the morning, or I get to go to the gym, or I get to do etc, etc. If you can make it like more fun and playful, and you can understand things from that other perspective, often things don't derail you as much. Because it would have been very easy for me yesterday to get nothing done based on morning events and get miserable and, oh, my day's over, whatever, I'm not doing nothing. But I had such a productive day, and it's because I just get shit done and I attack things head on. And that's what it's all about, people. Attacking shit head on and getting shit done. Not a lot happening on the charts for me at the moment. Still waiting to see what gold wants to do. If it's going to take all-time high or if it's just going to muck about. Obviously, CPI today as well. So I'd like to see this high go, because at the minute, we're stuck in the most doo-doo range ever. I think since the 20th of August, I've kind of not done a lot. Look, it's how it can go sometimes, you know, like navigating a boring market is difficult. Of course, I want the market to move, but at the same time, there's a lot of power in just being able to go, there's not a lot happening. I'm still going to turn up and do my processes and remain in the habits and the disciplines I've created, but I'm not going to force shit trades. I'm not going to rush into the market just because I need to, because I'm a trader, and I'm just going to wait and let the market come to me, sort of thing. And look, I get it. Everyone wants to, you know, make money fast, and no one wants to hear this sort of stuff. But there's a reason why you aren't getting anywhere, and it's because you're not listening to this advice that comes from a place of care. If you're finding the market's quiet, if you're having a quiet month, like, it's completely normal. And I would say, to be honest, it's probably one of the hardest things for traders to go through. Probably one of the hardest tests of character I've found personally, because I'm someone that, like, when I'm not doing anything, my mind can't fathom that. Like, I have to be doing stuff all the time, and I'm very productive. I get a lot of stuff done. I get shit done, but there are times where, like, when the market's quiet like this for me for September, like, what are we, the 10th, the 11th today? And I'm literally like, I've took one trade, it was a loss. Right, like, what? And even though I know that's normal, it can happen, there's still, of course, doubts and thoughts that are like, yo, is this normal? Do I need to look at something else? And they're the moments where you just have to catch yourself and be like, nah, listen, I've been here before, I know what's going on, I know what's good. And you do something else. And if it means just having a day doing something completely different, then do it. Do you know what I mean? But I think what happens is people can't fathom that. Then they might go online and then they might see someone who's made money when they haven't, and automatically you're like, boom, I need to do that, or I need to learn that. And I get it. Like, it's natural, right? Human nature. You know, you see something, someone else has got something you haven't, you want it. Like when you're a kid, or you're at school, someone's got the brand new iPhone, you've got an LG cookie, speaking from experience, and you're like, I want the fucking iPhone, man. So you try and hustle and do whatever you can to get it. It's kind of the same in trading. You see someone who's made 20 grand, you want to make 20 grand, you don't know the difference, you don't know the lifestyle, you don't know what they're sharing because they control the narrative, and you might go and do something mental just to make that 20 grand. No real need to do it. So, yeah, I'm going to make a coffee. I think I overflowed it a little bit. Wingstop's secured for lunch. Steph's first time. Lunch smashed. Time to tune in to CPI and go and take this all-time high at last. Can we clark the all-time high? Let's find out. There's the down move. Now, can we go like this, please? Just want to say RIP to all the fallen soldiers, traders, whatever it was that tried trading that specific candle. Even if you got it right and you're there like, I got it right, what you want about, trying to catch the drop is danger. Unless you're already well positioned in a swing trade or something, then cool. But placing a trade as it goes, dangerous stuff. But yeah, likely for me now, I won't trade for the rest of the day. I kind of knew that coming into the day anyway. So I just spent the morning out with Steph doing some bits and bobs, got some lunch. Probably just going to chill in the garden because the sun's come back, which is a vibe. But yeah, I always like watching the drop. It's just interesting to see. Let me see what EU did quickly as well while we're here. This was the move I was on about forecasting to take these lows out in the Discord. And then today, looking at this level to continue lower. Got this, I overall where I feel like we could get to. But I think that was actually quite a nice move, yeah. So this tapped in here first this morning, gave that fake out, if you like, swept it. There was a nice 5 minute. Could have got in here, could have got in here. It was nice, but I'm not taking it before CPI, just because even though it's right, you know, I'm not going to go now and post this on Twitter and be like, I called CPI, because I didn't get in it. But that was what I was looking at narrative-wise. We'll see if it commits, if it follows through. Obviously, we've got this weekly level as well that we're in, this daily level, etc. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's just a day for me to stay off the chart and do something else. Catching some sun. Living your best life. Yeah? Hey? You living your best life? It's cold today, wasn't it, on our walk, mate? Yeah. I finally managed to catch the short I've been looking for on gold for quite a while. So, earlier we swept the all-time high. Let me just pull up my chart, it'd be well easier. We swept all-time high here and I waited. I never normally go for the first attempt. If it goes without me, it goes without me. We started respecting this bullish order flow quite nicely. I did take a loss in here. It started to run and then respected and continued, and then I got in again up here. The reason I'm showing this is more of a lesson. It's not about that. It's about how I personally talk about challenges a lot and how they can skew your head, how they're designed to mess with your head, and how they're not real trading, and how also back testing and real trading doesn't correlate. Obviously got the trade, it's around 3.78%, which was all I needed. I haven't sized up ridiculously on this trade or anything like that. For anyone that's like, oh, you're not in this trade, here's the trade. So there's the trade running now. We're running like, I don't know, 2K or something. I'll put a screenshot up, and there's it, how close it got to TP. You see this right now, right? Like, I've had quite a quiet month. It's been slow, and as I've spoken about in this vlog already, about being patient, the character it builds, but making sure you're on the ball when it's ready, right? Obviously, it's very, very easy now for me to lose my head. Maybe you start hitting more lots. Maybe you start you close it now and then you get in again, or you close it now, it starts to melt, it would have hit TP, then you enter aggressively. It's important to understand, like, a challenge isn't realistic, it isn't real. It's a set of rules that are put upon you as a trader that if you pass, you can trade capital and make large amounts of money, and they're great, right? But what you have to understand is you shouldn't let it kind of control your entire trading ability, because you can trade, you forecast your trade, for example, it's unfortunate it didn't close out. Now here's another thing, in back testing that trade closes out and you're like, yeah, cool, 3R done, bosh. But in live it doesn't, and again, this is why a lot of people's results are different. They don't factor in things like spread. But because I didn't want to close it and then be 20, 30 quid under and have to get in another trade, I've just let it run. Therefore now I'm paying the price for that. I made that decision though, and therefore I have to accept that decision. But what I want to showcase here is it's really, really important to not let this now derail you and throw you off. Again, remember, 2 weeks, traded hardly at all. Traded once, took a trade today, lost. Then took this trade, and then all of a sudden, you nearly passed. I get it. You're a little bit euphoric. You're like, oh, I'm nearly there. It's nearly over the line. All I need is a little bit more. You're holding the trade. It might be playing with your emotions. You might be watching it a lot. But remember, you can't do anything about that. I'm only standing here right now in front of the chart to make this video. I'm going to chill out and do my thing tonight regardless of what happens to this trade, because I'm not going to let it consume me. I'm not going to let it ruin my day or ruin my evening or ruin my time with my family. Now, it takes a while to get to that place, 100%. And of course I have moments where I'm like, I messaged one of my pals and I was having a laugh with him. I was like, you literally cannot write that. Big John has gone, Alb's going to pass this, let's move the whole market the other way. But the reality of it is what it is. Could have put down more size, could have done numerous amounts of different things. I didn't. You have to understand, this is how it goes. This is the game. It's not in my control now what happens with this trade. I've executed my system and I have to be at peace with that. And until you get to a point where you're at peace with those things and you're clear with those things, you're always going to get in your own way and you're always going to self-sabotage. And I know so many traders in this specific moment now that will do that. If I close it, I'll be 2%. I only need 2%. I'll be closer. Oh, do I close it? And look, it might be that case, and when you watch this video, it might have took me out, and you might go, oh, you should have shut it, but that's hindsight. And again, that's where perfection exists. It doesn't exist in the moment. You don't know. You're making decisions, and I think a lot of people struggle with decision making. I've made the decision to hold this, to BE, or to pass. So whatever will be. And I get messages on this very thing. I was so close, it didn't close, it's the prop firm's fault, it's the broker's fault, it's whatever's fault. Listen, in trading, nothing's guaranteed, nothing's certain, and the conditions we have are the conditions we have. Whether someone sat there at Alpha watching the account and going, nah, shoo, don't let him close it, whatever. I had the ability to manually close it and I didn't. My decision. But I'm not going to pass the blame to them and be like, oh, it's your shit conditions, it's not fair. At the end of the day, if it wasn't a challenge, you'd have just closed it, made about £4,980, and it would have gone about your day. But I'll keep you updated on what happens with this. Probably be tomorrow now, because I'm not going to pick my camera up again tonight. I'm going to go downstairs and chill out. But I wanted to share it because I think it's an important part that's not shared a lot. And I've spoken about it loads, but I figured a live example may help a little bit more. Catch you in the morning. Someone explained to me why it's so cold today. Literally 4 degrees outside. I had to get my gloves out. Not taking the shorts off because they're not going anywhere yet. But yeah, 4 degrees. That was a shock to the system, not gonna lie. But yeah, these are the times. Obviously the mornings are getting darker. Clocks will go back soon. This is when you really got to push yourself, you know, and all the habits you've built, the identity that you create. This is where it's tested, because it's so much easier to just sack it off and not do anything. Or you carry on as you are, it is what it is. You embrace the cold, you embrace the weather, you put a coat on, put a hoodie on, and you get shit done. Right, I'm in gold shorts again. So yesterday took me out for BE, which again, it is what it is. It happened. I didn't know it was going to happen in the moment. Again, hindsight warriors, all that jazz. I don't want to hear it. I made a decision. I'm at peace with it. I've journaled it. I've moved on. It is what it is. To be fair, the way gold is at the moment, I am tempted to just get out of it. It's not committing. It's not following through. I don't want to be buying it where it is. My edge is set up short. We are probably, 40, 50 points above yesterday's all-time high. It was a clean trade this morning, to be fair. It was nice. Running and floating at around 1,300 quid. But I am tempted to just close it if it takes out these little lows. I was targeting sort of below Asia low and daily open for about 4%, but I'm tempted to get out for about 2 when it takes out this pool of liquidity, if it takes it out. Risk is pretty much off the trade. Again, this is where decision making comes in, right? Obviously, it's all well and good saying what's your plan say, but this is situational based on the current market conditions, and that can be very different to what your plan says. My plan says risk is off, hold to 4%, right? However, situations at the moment, just like I discovered yesterday, gold isn't, one, it isn't really going down, and two, it's not committing and following through very nicely. So sometimes you have to intervene, and that's where having that trader intuition comes in. But I'll keep you posted on that. I'm hungry, I'm gonna make some food. It is lunch time. Even human if you don't dash pepper all over your scrambled egg. Bop, bop, bop. Langers. You can't even see it. Good angle, Ab. Right, I'm gonna eat, and I'll update you on that trade. Close these trades, because it ain't really doing much. There we go. I've left it open on some accounts. I just disconnected my copier briefly, but I've closed it on some accounts as well. So happy days there. We're probably sat at like 0.5% for September as it stands. Like I say, you know, this is situational based on gold at the minute. Gonna have a little think on the weekend. I do think maybe trading 2 pairs might be better for me. I always do this where I stick to one. And while one's great, this is the downside to one. When one goes a little bit skew with, you are almost just like doing yourself a little bit of a disservice. So I might let gold just do its thing for a little bit, sort itself out, and go from there. We'll see what happens. But I'm probably going to let it run on the challenges just because, again, it's a challenge. Other than that, guys and girls, I'm probably going to wrap the vlog up there for this week. Not a lot going to happen for the rest of the afternoon. And then the girls will be home, and then it's the weekend. I'm in London tomorrow. Quite a busy weekend going on. So without further ado, I'm going to love and leave you all for now. Just want to say a massive shout out to all of you as always for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. I read them all. Big ups to all of you. I appreciate it a lot. If you're not subscribed, do me a favour and subscribe. It's literally free. I don't know why you wouldn't do it. Like, we're providing pure value out here. Without further ado, catch you all in next week's vlog. Peace and love, gang.